all, Diddy has just filed for a mistrial. Now, Diddy is trying to get a mistrial over a couple of different things, and he is citing misconduct, so let's not waste any time and let's get into it. Diddy's lawyers have just filed a motion to the judge asking for a mistrial, saying that the prosecutors have used misconduct. This motion alleges that the government has presented testimony that it knew or should have known was materially false relating to the allegation that Mr. Combs dangled Brianna Bongolan from a balcony of Cassie Ventura's apartment in September of 2016. Accordingly, to avoid an unfair conviction in this case, the court should grant a mistrial. The government contends that the alleged balcony incident is relevant because it shows Mr. Combs' violence directed not only to Cassie Ventura, but to other people around Cassie Ventura. And they use a statement that the government says she is aware of this violence. Because of her awareness, it goes to coercion. Diddy's team then goes on to say that the government has used it to depict Mr. Combs in an extremely negative light as an angry and dangerous man who terrified Cassie Ventura and her friends. I ain't gonna lie, just saying that is crazy because Diddy, did you forget that there's a video of you doing that in real time? And they go on to allege that the prosecutors have entered evidence about the allegation from Cassie Ventura and Brianna Bongolan that is false in key aspects. Then they doubled down using the false testimony to obtain a ruling admitting hearsay evidence about it as well, all to present a false narrative to the jury. The government started by entering testimony from Cassie Ventura about the allegation that cannot be true. Cassie Ventura said that she saw Mr. Combs holding Brianna Bongolan over the balcony railings. Yet the prosecutors knew that she had not actually seen what she described because they had in their possession a text conversation demonstrating that Cassie Ventura was told about the alleged incident by another unidentified person. And they quote this text that says, "Hey, I just found out some crazy." And they are talking about the text message that Cassie Ventura sent Christina Quorum a few days later. Nevertheless, they allowed Cassie Ventura to continue to insist on cross that she had witnessed this incident. Question: and you testified that you saw him throw her onto the patio furniture, right? Yeah. He brought her back over the balcony and he threw her down. She persisted in this story even after she was confronted by the text messages. Isn't it true that you learned about this incident on the balcony after the fact? I saw what I saw, so I don't know. Has the government, in your preparation for your testimony in this case, gone over this message with you? Not this one, no. The government has left the jury with a false impression that Cassie Ventura saw Mr. Combs dangle her friend over the balcony, that this made her fearful of him, when in fact, if there was any incident, Ventura merely heard about it afterwards. The government doubled down by presenting testimony from Brianna Bongolan intended to corroborate Cassie Ventura's false testimony. Bongolan claimed that Combs lifted her up and held her feet on the balcony railing. This is what caused the injuries to the back of her leg, back, and neck pain. They also allege in this footnote that Cassie Ventura and Brianna Bongolan have been in frequent contact. As to key points, they have had many opportunities to collaborate on their stories. And in fact, Bongolan admitted to the two friends discussing the incident before and after Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit. Diddy's team then goes on to say that the government introduced photographs of the injuries that Miss Bongolan supposedly sustained at the hands of Mr. Combs, including a photo depicting the leg injury taken on September 26 of 2016 at 9:45 a.m. Brianna Bongolan testified that she took the photographs of her leg injury around the time or the same day as the incident that she had got the injury, being thrown on the balcony furniture. On cross, she confirmed that the balcony incident happened earlier in the morning. The photo of the leg bruise was taken later that day. The government then introduced photographs of the injuries supposedly sustained at the hands of Mr. Combs during the incident. The government knew or should have known that Miss Bongolan could have not been possibly injured by Mr. Combs on a Los Angeles balcony in the early morning hours of September 26th, or even the day before that. The government has long known that Mr. Combs was on the East Coast in late September, specifically at around the time of this alleged incident. The government knew that he had stayed at the Trump Hotel in New York between September 24th and September 29th in 2016. In fact, the government had it marked as an exhibit in the records of this hotel stay, which they are now using as evidence. And they have other evidence in their possession from some of the time showing Mr. Combs' travel, scheduling, and proving that he was on the East Coast when it told the jury that he dangled Miss Bongolin over a balcony in front of Cassie Ventura. Bears to emphasize the use of the testimony regarding the balcony incident, and it's just one example of misconduct during this trial. The defense previously moved for a mistrial based on the improper line of questioning related to the 2012 destruction of fingerprints provided by Kid Cudi to the LAPD. As the court will recall, the defense argued that the government eliciting this testimony was to create an unfounded and highly prejudicial interference that Mr. Combs somehow corruptly arranged for the destruction of the fingerprints. They're talking about how the judge ended up denying that, but they say, however, it has become apparent shortly after, during the questioning of Mia the very next day, the fact that the government's motive all along has been to suggest that Mr. Combs had corrupt influence over the LA authorities after they tried to create the impression that he was responsible for the destruction of fingerprints. The government elicited testimony from Mia about 2 incidents which the LAPD did not issue her a ticket for speeding after she was pulled over because the officers found out that she worked for Mr. Combs. These 2 incidents in isolation seem like binge examples of police giving lenient treatment to popular famous people. Coupled with the sinister implications of the fingerprint destructions, however, they create a strong implication that the reason Mia, and I'm sure that the government will argue, didn't go to the police was because Mr. Combs was corrupt and had influence over the police and the LAPD in particular. And now they are asking for a mistrial because of all of this stuff. As of right now, we do not know if the judge will grant a mistrial. Y'all know I will keep you updated, but I'm praying that he does not, because I cannot go through this all over again. Y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.